Hello, today is Wednesday, the 26th of October. Let's go over this silver market. And what I was saying back in here was that it was all right to find resistance within this level, as long, of course, as it makes that of a higher low. And within this low in here, this is higher than the previous low. Thus, it made a higher low, has come back to this resistance level, which increases the chances that you would take this level out. Will it take it out? Not too sure yet. Maybe it's going to extend the upper band of this range and continue to consolidate. Other things that it can do is create a yet another fake move or false move that would create the lower moves. However, as I was stating, when this thing finally gets ready to get going, the most logical resistance point that it would go to, and most likely in a quick or a rapid period of time, would be this Fibonacci level, which is located at $36.15 per ounce. Another thing that I like to talk about is the big high and the big low, and that's whenever you make a big move and then you consolidate within the large move. Therefore, the breakdown occurred in here. There's the big high, and it didn't take long, only a few days, to see the market go from 41 and change, roughly 42 for that matter, down to 26. So there's the big high and the big low. And since that period, it has traded within the sideways consolidation pattern. So whenever you have this situation occur, this encounters the consolidation, thus until you can find momentum, you're pretty much in the I don't know kind of mode, and you're always going to have an upward trend line and a downward trend line. As far as the upward move is concerned, I'll get a straight line instead, and we can start off within this bottom level here. Again, I want to reduce the size of these lines. So this one, it's definitely the most less aggressive line or most conservative one, and for resistance, that would be the resistance part that we'd be looking at. So until we're as long as we're in this triangle for the most part, the market would be considered to be that of indecisive. If we shorten this out to the quarter day chart, we can see in here that it's had this break of this resistance point at roughly the 33 level, and then the big level, of course, is the 33.58, which is that previous support level. That will it hold as resistance? Well, we'll obviously have to wait and see within this. But I want to do some trend line analysis within this. We'll get the support level. The most conservative level is something in this area here. I don't know, something like this. However, let's go with a more aggressive trend line, which would be, you could say anything like this, but we'll just connect these two low peaks together. Something like that. If we draw the resistance point using a parallel line, which means you will be doing the exact same rate of ascent, then if we connect these peaks, then what we are seeing is that the market is trying to find support at a previous level of resistance. If this fails, a logical spot is that it will come and find support within this particular trend line. If it can successfully find support at a trend line like this and lift higher, that's where you would get those large gains that would probably take us to that big 36 Fibonacci level. We're going to move this over now to the monthly chart, and I want to go through the same sort of trend line analysis that I did on the quarter day chart. And that is to find the support line within this in here. Now you have this support level, which could still be used, but what held the majority of the rally together would have been something like this. So we'll move this higher and see that the movement that brought us down was towards this trend line. However, if we do that parallel line again and find the significant resistance area, at least within the original rally point, it was this trend line in here. Now what occurred after it got up to this $30 level was it had this consolidation period within the line. And then it tried to make this big move in here to break above it, but was unable to consolidate in here when it had its first support test at previous resistance. But when you do break through these levels, that's what oftentimes can happen are large volatile moves. Volatile meaning more aggressive or substantially aggressive compared to what the previous movements within the chart would have been. And then when it broke down, like I said, it was within this range. So we're still trading within the same range that has been going on. And these dates are off. That'll get fixed later on. But this bottom is in 2008, the October level. And since then, of course, it's been in this trend line. Now, if we never did break above in here, and say we found resistance, maybe came down to this trend line, back up here and down, then we wouldn't have as many people who were being cautious about the situation coming into play. And at the same point, there would be still a lot of people stating then, why is it taking forever for this thing to break out, of course. Now, overall, it's very difficult to rely on the system that is the moneymaker system to get the higher prices that one may want. So I've done even further technical analysis, and I'm not going to go over it in this video because it's going to take quite a long time. But I'm going to make this in a future video where I just technically go over the big picture of different things. If you are unfamiliar within why Occupy Wall Street is coming into play, why there's a lot of people that are frustrated within the system, that it's a good idea to get aware to see why this is the case. I expect a lot of people who are sub to this channel who watch this over and over again, and I've heard this a lot from myself and many others, on the creation of fiat currency and how destructive that it actually is. The points that I like to make within this channel is not really those, to me, obvious and simple points, although they're important, but the points of which people waking up within this mass level at large rates. I don't know what words to use to describe it the best, other than the most probable situation to be a large change in society that's basically going to change the way we have our everyday lives. But until then, bankers are going to do what bankers like to enjoy themselves. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a great day.